Yes. Welcome to this session number 3 on Vedic Sandhya, meaning and practice. Going to open my PowerPoint file. Okay. So that's our title slide. Last week we have discussed the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra, and before that we made some remarks related to Upasana, which is to be with him. Generally we use the term Upasana, but it implicitly means Ishwar Upasana, being with that supreme consciousness. And the necessary condition to be with him is to disconnect from mind. Before I disconnect from mind, it must be inactive, and that state of mind is called dhyan, meditation. And that's what Sandhya is all about. Sandhya, the term Sandhya is compound word made out of prefix sam with dhyan, a meditation which is properly performed. And then I also mentioned that in classical time, as mentioned by Manu, Sandhya is nothing but recitation of Gayatri Mantra. But recitation is slightly misunderstood in modern time. Recitation goes through 4 stages. One is the regular volume, then it is whispering sound, then it is mental recitation, and the fourth is the fourth state, that is called para state, when you are lost into the meaning, but your mind is neither engaged with the word of Gayatri Mantra nor with its meaning. That is slightly difficult to understand, but that's what it is, that we use Gayatri Mantra as the vehicle, but finally we are disengaged even from the Gayatri Mantra, from both its word as well as its meaning. Its meaning has taken us to the lap of that cosmic mother. And now it is we are left with probably with the essence of the Gayatri Mantra that cannot be described in words. That is the true meaning of recitation. That's what Patanjali has said, tad japas tadartha bhavanam. So a word is a shabda, it has a meaning called earth, and the essence of that meaning is called bhav. So that is to be felt, and that is what is the ultimate objective of Upasana, to be with him when there are no words, nothing being communicated, you are just lost into a deep ocean. Then we discussed the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuva Swa, Om is his own name, what Maharishi Dayananda writes, Ishwar ka nij naam hai, as if that is his own name, his principal name. And then there are 3 more names, they are called as Vyahriti, namely Bhu Bhuva Swa. Bhu has become Bhu here, Bhuva, and in the next slide it is Swa. I have explained Bhu is Bhu Sattayam, that is existent. He is ever existent, so am I. But as a human being, I do want to continue to exist, that he has programmed my mind with that survival instinct that is embedded in my mind. He is definitely can never be inflicted with pain, and he has programmed our mind such that anything that is painful to me, I want to get away from it. So he is unusual, which is what is missing in us. He has not programmed in that as default, but that's where Upasana becomes important, that I can get a taste of that swa. That is absolute happiness, something that is no negative counterpart, called also as Anand. Today I will mention that. And then Gayatri Mantra's meaning was Tat Savitur Varenyam. You are the one who brings us into the world, and you are most adorable. If I were to select something, if I have all the choices, I want to be with you and with you alone. That is the meaning of Tat Savitur Varenyam. And when I am with you, what do I seek? Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. I want my intellectual faculty to be enlightened, like yours is. So there is absolutely no darkness in that Ishwar, and I would like my mind, my inner mind, what is called intellectual faculty, my buddhi. The word here for buddhi is dhi, and which is same as buddhi, intellect. I want that inner light to be in my intellectual faculty. So that what will happen when I'm enlightened? Yo yo na pachodaya. Even when I take leave from you, I will, as if my intellectual battery has been charged, that will guide me in my day-to-day affairs of the world. So may my intellectual faculty be inspired by you, even as I live in this worldly life. So that was in brief Gayatri Mantra, because Sandhya is its core and crux is the Gayatri Mantra. So I thought I should give you the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. As usual, we again recite the mantras in the Sandhya today, and we will take a pause after the recitation of Gayatri Mantra. Then we want to get lost into this meaning, even away from the meaning, but this meaning has taken us into a deep ocean where we are disconnected from word and meaning, but that essence continues to be with us. That's what. So as usual, we will devote. I will use my timer about 10 to 12 minutes to be in real upasana. And as I say again and again, in those moments of deep meditation, if there is anything happening in your mind frame, you should instruct your mind silently, mentally reciting the term Om. So that way you are programming your mind, you are tuning your mind with this code word sound Om, that you be calm. More the mind is calm, more I am in upasana. Okay, after this review, let's get to the today. So my slides are numbered like this. Today is third session, so there will be a Roman number 3. 3.1, slide number 1 for the session number 3. So before I get to a particular session, I do want to quickly review the previous session so that you can see how things are planned here. So I am now quoting a mantra, Yajurveda 40th chapter 15th, which tells us that I am a body. Body is a envelope, as a sheath, as a shell within which I am a non-physical consciousness. So we are, as a human being, a non-physical consciousness enveloped in the body frame. So these are I am just writing here the first line here, which is more relevant in this case, that's what we say. The Vedic philosophy is a scientific thought process, and I always claim to say that wherever the modern science stands today, to that, if we add the concept of non-physical consciousness, then you will get what is Vedic science. So Vedic science is not to be seen as a religion, but is a scientific stream, but slightly ahead of science. And I do hope that modern science stream will embrace the concept of non-physical consciousness, because without that it is almost impossible to explain the events seen in the world. Because any scientist, any philosopher finally has to explain the events seen in the world in a logical, rational, consistent framework. So without a non-physical concept of non-physical consciousness, I have no idea how can one ever explain what you see in the world, the reality. Consciousness again is of two sorts. One is infinitesimally small, a point like singularity that is ours, and also that is of animals and birds and all other conscious species. And there is a unique singular infinite consciousness. That's what is referred to here in this particular course as Ishwar, because Patanjali has also used the term Ishwar, and even his predecessor Kapil has also used the term Ishwar. So the first line here is Vayu anilam amyatam thedam bhasmantam shayidam. So the first part of the first line is describing certain attributes of that non-physical consciousness, that is Vayu. Vayu means something which is abundantly forceful. And it also means air, by the way, because without air, I have no life. Without air, nobody can conceive any conscious being able to continue with what is called life force. So air is the most dominant force that makes us behave like a living being. So that's what is force. So in its root form, the meaning is forceful. And indeed, our consciousness has abundant force. When it leaves my body, then the body is left as dead body. So that is so much of power and force of that entity that is reflected by the term Vayu. It becomes Vayu, this aspirated sound becomes these are what is called Sandhi rules of Sanskrit grammar. Don't worry about that. So the original term is Vayu, but when it connects to the next, it becomes Vayu Anilam. No problem. We are not discussing much of grammar here. The main terms are Vayu, forceful, then Anilam. Anilam is Ila. Il is also a word for the earth, the matter in its very basic form. Un is a negation, like in English also we say equal and unequal. In the same manner, it is unilam. Un is for negation, ilam is something that is matter. So it is outrightly stated, it is non-material. Then it is amyatam, or it is also negation. It is basically na, what is called. Then na becomes or and sometimes un and all that. So in English, the example is as I give symmetry as well as asymmetry. So is negation for metam. Metam is something that has an end, that dies away, fades away, disappears, annihilation, that is no more existent. Amritam is opposite of that, which will never die, which indeed goes through no transformation because it is at the outset non-material. So in Sanskrit we say aparinami. It goes through no change whatsoever. If it goes through no change, there is no question it will ever die. Because death is also a transformation of an object in such a manner that there is a total breakdown of its function. If there is no transformation, there can be no breakdown, etc. So these were three basic terms: Vayu, Anilam, Amyatam. Then there is Atha. Atha is now the story begins. Thereupon something happens. So what is happening? I somehow appear in this world as bonded to the body frame. So the story begins because I am known here as a human being with my face and all that. So that is what is reflected by the term Atha. There is no such Ath for the consciousness. Consciousness had no start, no end. So there is nothing like the story, it is beginningless, so to say. Now there is a sense of beginning for me as a human being, and that's what is declared here by the term Atha. What happens then? Idam. So now the story, now the three terms are talked, three or four attributes are given of what is called Shariram. That is my body frame. And now there are three terms being used, Idam, Bhasma, and Antam. So Idam is this visible. You can say this, you can use the term Idam when it is something is visible to you. Then you point your finger to that and say Idam. So that you cannot use it for the non-physical consciousness. But for the body frame, you can say, this is it. So that is what is idam. There is no such possibility for the non-physical consciousness. It is made of bhasma. Bhasma literally means ash, but that's what the earth is made of. So it is made of earth basically. Earth produce, we eat, and that gives rise to our body. And when I was in my mother's womb, she was eating food that gave rise to my body in a tiny form in her womb. So basically, we are eating produce from the earth, and that's what cow also eats and gives milk. So even milk is indirectly an earth's produce. So everything as such, other than air and water, we can say, is produced by the earth, and that's what gives rise to the development of our body. So that is what is, but it is an interesting term. It is a like Vedic allegorical meaning. It is also meaning ash. So you know when something burns, it's it does not fully uh, there is no, it's not that it comes into non-existent. Whenever anything burns, even a liquefied petroleum fuel, even when that burns, some sort of soot particles are formed. So even if a wood is burned, coal is burned, at the end there is a ash form. So there is an indication that this body, at the end of its life, even if you burn it, there will be some ash content. So that is a reminder that this is made of the earth, and even though you have done your best to get rid of it one way or another, there is some ash is left over. So bhasma can mean its origin is from the earth and its end is also the earth. And what is that is also emphasized the word antam. Antam means end. The Sanskrit word sounds very similar to the English word end. Anta, end. So that is what is anta means end because it has an ending. The body will have an end. This will not be moving all the time. So these are three adjectives, idam, bhasma, antam. And that is what is consisting of Shayi, the body frame. So I have somehow been put into this body frame. Of course, only Ishwar can do that. And that's what he is telling us, that you are a composite of two opposites. One is non-physical, undying consciousness, non-material, and on the other hand, your body is made of matter, particularly that of the earth. It will have an end, and it is a visible body frame. So that's what we are told, and of course, we know it. Anything in the world, even as a say you are hiking in a wilderness, in a forest, if you see something which is for the first time, then first question comes in your mind is, what is this? Only if you can ascertain what that is, then only you can think what to do with it, what use it can be. Is it a pen? Is it a pencil? Is it a watch? What is this? And that's the basic question. And that's what people are not bothered. People are not wanting to ask. They are conveniently avoiding it. That is the root cause of all the ills in the modern times. Once we appear on the earth, of course, as a child, we may not have that inquisitive thing, but as an adult, we must ask ourselves, who am I? What is this me? Unless I answer this question, who am I? How can I make use of my life? So, in Vedic terminology, this is the most paramount question of interest, and I must answer it. And this is where we have some complaint with scientists that they are not taking this bold step to talk about non-physical consciousness. Since they are silent, all the forces of so-called religions, they continue to harbor all kinds of funny ideas, and humanity as a whole is getting misled. And then we see what kind of turmoil, what kind of affairs are going on in the world. So this is the very important question, who am I? And that's where the Vedas are giving us very clear guidance. And I am sure if when you attend my sessions, we are saying it is not a fanciful idea. That is why we give a lot of importance to meditation and upasana, because by way of meditation, you can verify and validate that indeed I am a composite of a body frame made of matter and a non-physical consciousness. So that's what this whole course is all about, Vedic Sandhya, so that we can explore through that exploratory journey and finally see what is beyond my body and mind. Who am I? So that was some discussion on this. We have discussed these, but today I want to connect it to Gayatri Mantra. Our three powers are powers of that. Here, our means we, the non-physical consciousness. That has three powers: to know, to experience, and act. These are not powers of our body and nor of our brain. Though body and brain and even mind has to function properly as instruments for me to realize these powers. But finally, my non-physical consciousness, that point-like singularity, is the knower, is the experiencer, and is actor. Body and mind are instruments to exercise our three powers: know, experience, and job description of mind. In the previous slide, we didn't talk about mind, but mind is made of matter. So that is what is the connecting domain between that non-physical consciousness and the gross body frame. So obviously it must be made of matter so that it can connect to the body. And also it must be very, very tiny, very, very tiny, tinier than anything we can visualize, so that it can connect to my consciousness. So that is what is mind. And that is also is me, my mind and my body are combined together in such a fantastic manner by Ishwar when I am sent into this world. And he gives me a lot of knowledge is embedded in my mind, like we have discussed, bhu, bhuva, swa, etc. Survival instinct and all the necessary knowledge that will get me going in the world is embedded in my mind as I am born. Further, it is designed to play a certain role. That's what is job description of mind is, to get us away from pain and towards what gives us pleasure. So naturally, we don't want, of course, there is a subjectivity of pain and pleasure. Somebody may find something painful, but somebody find a particular temperature, say 18 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, very cold air. But somebody who lives in the Arctic Circle or a person living in Greenland, he will find it very warm. So, these are all subjective, and that's what we will be discussing. Towards that, so whatever is my perception of pain, my mind will attempt to get away from what is painful to me and take me towards what is pleasant to me. But it is up to me to program my mind. So this is all we learn a lot from meditation, etc. Talking about pleasure, pleasure has three hierarchies, and let's do it. When my body and mind are participating, then in Sanskrit terms are sukha and dukha, joy and pain, so to say. When my body is not that much participating, my mind is active, then we have possibility of shanti and ashanti. In English, I will say peaceful mind or restless mind. So here you can see there is a duality, wide spectrum. Here also it is wide spectrum. But then we want to make an observation when none is participating, body and when I am disconnected from both body and mind, then there is only one possibility, that is called anand. In English we can say bliss. So I am trying to give you the meaning of swa in Gayatri Mantra, Bhu Bhuva Swa. So let me complete it, probably one more slide. Yeah, one more slide. Third slide for today, titled as Pleasure and its Climax. So when body and mind participate, I go to fluctuate between a wide spectrum of sukha and dukha as a pendulum. This is what layperson's life is, 24 hours. But we make certain more observations. What gives me sukha or dukha, joy and pain, has element of subjectivity. Don't have to go into detail. We know it. Somebody likes cup of tea, somebody likes cup of coffee, and even coffee, there are so many variations. All that is because these things are subjective. Then also, there is a relatively short lifetime. Suppose I like to drink a cup of coffee, but I really like it is pleasant as long as there is a taste of coffee on my taste bud. Once my cup is over, finished, after some moments, taste bud doesn't have that memory, then that lifetime is over. And this is what I go through when I am in a wakeful state, like at this point. So we are going through joy and pain when we are awake, alert, both body and mind are participating. They have relatively short lifetime and they are quite subjective. Let's go a bit deeper. When my mind is only participating, body is relatively much less. Like say I just get a call from my son, my daughter, that he reached his destination safely. I am now at peace. Otherwise, I was worried if he is fine or not. So, that phone call makes me feel peace. And that will happen with any father or any mother. So there is a less element of subjectivity, though one could discuss there is some subjectivity, but it is much less. It is much longer lifetime. Even after the phone call, I am under that influence. That will go on for some more minutes, even some hours, even some days, depending on the event. And these kind of fluctuations may occur. even when I am wakeful or even when I am in sleep, so to say, so-called sleep, in particular dream state we are saying. So this second kind of phenomena, which makes me fluctuate between peaceful mind and restless mind, again there is a duality, but there is less subjectivity, lifetime is longer, and it can happen at any time almost, whether I am in bed or out of bed. Continuing with that, the third is much more powerful when nothing participates. Now here, absolutely, there is no subjectivity. And it is still longer lifetime, and we are still talking deep, dreamless sleep when mind is not functioning at all. And as you know, once we have had a full, deep, dreamless sleep, almost the entire day is very, very good, much better than otherwise. So this has a much longer lifetime, and it has absolutely no subjectivity. Anybody experiencing this deep, dreamless sleep is likely, not likely, is bound to say, I enjoyed it, I slept very well. And that's what brings us to the Upasana. Upasana, the objective of Upasana is to enable us taste this Anand, which has no duality. This is absolute happiness, so to say. But in sleep, I have it in a distant mode, in unconscious mode. And in Upasana, I want to taste it in real time in conscious mode. So that's the objective of Upasana. And now I connect it to Gayatri Mantra that refers to Ishwar as Swaha. So in Upasana, I wish to reach out to Swaha. The word reach out, the Sanskrit term is Ga. Ga is a root for Gaman, to go and to obtain something, to reach out something. So I like to put these two words together. Some of you may be familiar with Swa plus Ga becomes Swarga. So Upasana is the only means to taste and be in Swarga, to have a real-time taste of Swa. And incidentally, as the language has gone through all kinds of connotation, in Indian vocabulary, Swarg has a distorted meaning, as if there is a physical space of heaven. No, this is that tiny shell within me where I am residing. If I am able to go there, and that I can go only when I am disconnect from my mind, then I am absolutely absolutely able to taste the proximity with that entity whose name is Swa. And when I taste that proximity, I am indeed in Swarga. So I am having a real-time taste of that absolute happiness. So there is a strong philosophical basis of what we are talking, meditation and upasana, etc. But one has to be persistent in his practice, day-to-day practice. Otherwise, all this is hollow talk. So that's what is the objective of Sandhya, and we should try and aim to get it. Okay, today I take the first mantra of Sandhya. I can show you the slide. Okay, just don't want to take the risk of going into the. So just going from one screen to another. So taking a very cautious approach. Just a minute, yeah. Okay. And now I think because I think it should work, I'm using my So just showing you, which in any case I would be showing you a few minutes later as we perform the Sandhya. This is the website I am using for the Sandhya, Vedic Sandhya mantras. And as you can see, the very first mantra is Om Shanno Devi Vishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitare Shanyoya Visya Vantunaha. I made a slide for this mantra, so just to give you the meaning, and let me show you those slides. Okay, I hope you are able to see this. This is that first mantra of the Vedic Sandhya. As I cited, Om Shannu Devi Vishtaya. So our keyword here is Apa Devi. So
Sound taking here. Sound quality is.
let me check the sound quality. There's a feedback. Hello. So the mantra was Om Shannu Devi Vishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye Sanyoya Vishyavantuna. Taking back to that slide of the particular mantra, the terms here, because in Sanskrit it becomes things get compounded. So let me say here it is Sham Nah, which I have put here in the next line, second line. Sham Nah. This together becomes Shannu. Then there is Devi, which I have stated here, Devi, Abhishtai, Abhishtai. Then it is Apa, which I have put here at the very start, Apa. Bhavantu, Bhavantu I have, it is a verb, and that I have put like bestow upon us. Pitaye, Pitaye is here. And then there is a pause, and then Sanyo. Sanyo is here. Then Abhisyavantu, Abhisyavantu. Then it is Na, Na. Okay, Sanyo is, incidentally, it is a declension of Sham, derived from Sham. So in a particular case. Okay, let's go step by step. So we are addressing it to someone, of course, to that Ishwar, now referred to as Apa Devi. Apa means who is all pervading. Devi is one who is giving more, who gives all kinds of goodness. So this is, we are addressing, Hey Apa Devi. You are all pervading Ishwar who gives us all the bounties. So that is the meaning of Apa Devi. So this is a sense, it's a vocative. This is an unusual word, Apa. So maybe a few words. This is a feminine word. That's why it is Devi, not Deva. Apa is a feminine word, but it is unusual in the sense it is always in plural. Otherwise, Sanskrit has three numbers, singular, dual, and plural. But Apa cannot be in singular or dual number. It is always in plural. So that's why it is Bhavantu, which is in plural. So Bhavantu is may you, Apa Devi give us. So that term giving, or may it happen like this. So this is also appearing in Pilwell. Now there is a term like Naha, Sham Naha. Sham is benevolence. So of course that Apa Devi is benevolent. So we are saying you are benevolent, bestow upon us. This is Na and Bhavantu have been put together here. So I am addressing to Hey Apa Devi, you are all pervading Ishwar with the bountiful bounties giving us. You are benevolent. May you bestow upon us. That is the meaning of Sham Naha. Another point here is whenever we are seeking something from that Ishwar, that consciousness, in Vedas it is always in plural. We never say give this to me. We always say give this to us. So that is a very unique feature in Vedic terminology. Bestow upon us. Even in Gayatri Mantra, it was Jio Yo Na Prachodaya. May our intellect be guided by you. Not may my intellect be guided. We are not saying in singular, we are always saying in plural. Because if it happens only to me but not to others, then the life is not that good. So whatever you desire, the same thing you want others to also obtain. So that is the meaning of Sham. You are benevolent. May you bestow upon us. Now there are two things we are asking, which is in what is said dative, Sampadan Chaturthi, Abhishtaye and Pitaye. So we are always seeking a pair. So life is full of pair, as we have seen, Vayu Anela Mameta. Something my body needs, but something I need. So what I need is not relevant for my body. Say I need knowledge, which has not much to do with but my body needs food, etc. So there are two different kinds of needs we have, and that is what is reflected here. Avishtaye, all the material things that will bring, so to say, material happiness. Because if I don't have essential things in my home, no food, no clothing, etc., etc., then life is not good. Indeed, I cannot even survive. But even if, like, we can meet any multimillionaire or billionaire person, multi-billionaires are also there, who have all kinds of money, who have all kinds of possessions, but still they are not the happiest people. Something is missing in that. What is missing is we call it inner happiness. So that is reflected by the term pitaye, and avishtaye is all the material happiness, material things that brings us, gives us survival and sensual pleasures and happiness. But life cannot stop there. It must move on to inner happiness also. So at the outset, when an individual is intending to do Sandhya, in the very first mantra, he lets himself know what is the objective of Upasana, what is the objective of Sandhya. He wants to be with that Apa Devi for a very specific purpose, that Abhishtaye and Pitaye, which only that Apa Devi can grant, nobody else. Then he asks for one additional thing. This is not, he doesn't seek these things, Abhishtaye and Pitaye, in block form. Say you get one box, when that box is empty, you get another box. When that box is also emptied, you get a third box. Of course, then there is always a time difference between two consecutive boxes. that you have some empty box you are seeking to fill up again, and then somebody supplies a second box. Then the devotee, the upasak, one who is in meditation, he thinks of a wonderful idea that could it not be a continuity of this process, that there is never a discontinuity. If there is never a discontinuity, then there is never a pain and suffering in my life. If, of course, when I have Avishtai and Pitaya, what it means is if I fall into a painful situation, somehow it will be taken care of and I will be out of it. But then, wouldn't be a still wonderful idea that even if somehow it never happened that I will ever be in a painful situation, that means there is a continuous shower of Abhishtaya and Pitaya. They are not coming as a discontinuous boxes one after another. It is a continuous shower, like under the waterfall, that is constantly falling on you, and you are under the shower of Avishtai and Pitai. So that is what you are saying, and that connects it to the word apa, also meaning water. So now you say, Hey Apa Devi, you are capable of not only sending us those quanta, those boxes one at a time, but if I am really with you, then I can feel the continuous shower of that happiness, which is of holistic nature, which gives a kind of fulfillment to my body, mind, and my inner needs. Then I have nothing else to ask for. That is a holistic pleasure forever. And that is the purpose of Sandhyopasana. That's what we recite at the very first outset. Let's now do the Sandhya as we have been doing. Last time we added the deep breathing soon after the pranayam mantra. That was as deep breathe out and deep breathe in. Now we'll do it in a more particular manner, like Maharishi Dayanand says. Breathe out, then hold the breath outside up to the point of discomfort, and then take a deep breath in, and then again hold it within you up to a point of discomfort, onset of discomfort. His words are, जब बेचैनी होने लगे, then you move to the next phase. So now each breathing cycle will have four phases. Deep breathe out, that is the Sanskrit term is Rechaka. Then we will hold the breath out. That phase will be called as Bahya Kumbhaka. Kumbh means vessel. So we are imagining that I have stored my breath in a vessel. Bahya means outer vessel. So it is stored in the outer vessel. And then there is an onset of discomfort. Then I do deep breathing. That is called Purak. I am filling myself. When I have filled myself fully, then I am in the fourth phase, that is called Abhyanta Kumbhak or Abhikumbhak. Now the vessel is within me and I am stored the breath within me and I am holding on. So during the phases of Kumbhak, the system is held airtight. You don't allow any air to move in or move out. In phase 1, air moves out. In phase 2, Vahikumbhak, no air movement. In phase 3, air moves in. All this is in a way, not as a jerk, but in a rhythm, in a smooth manner. Then in phase 4, I hold the breath within me. That is Abhikumbha. And the onset of discomfort, Then I breathe out. That will be the Achak of the second cycle. So we will do 3 cycles today. Mahesh Dayanand's guideline is to do this kind of, he writes in his book called Satyat Prakash, इस प्रकार एक प्राणायाम पूरा हुआ. Then he says, न्यूनतम 3, अधिकतम 21 प्राणायाम करें. So minimum 3 and maximum 21 he is guiding us that way. So we will do 3 pranayam according to guideline from Maharishi Dayananda. Let's go to that website of Sandhya mantras. So now you know it. Let me show you. This will be our starting mantra. Then we will do touching the body organs. Then we will do this. This is usually done with wet fingers to bring in a meaning as if I want to purify my body organ. The first set, the previous set was for Yashobalam, Bahubhyam Yashobalam, for strength of the body organ. And then this is again touching, but now we are seeking purity of the body organ. So our sensory organs should maintain the strength and they should be pure also. Because with the same organs, we can do wrong acts also. And then after that, we do what is called pranayam mantra. We recite these 7 mantras. After this, we will do 3 cycles of deep breathing, each cycle with 4 phases. And then we will recite as usual up to the Gayatri mantra towards very close to the end. And then after Gayatri mantra, we will do what actually is Sandhyopasana. So, all this recitation is not actually Sandhya. Actual Sandhya is being in meditation after reciting the Gayatri mantra. So, we will do it for about 10 to 12 minutes. And I will put my timer at that time and ensure that we are just setting my timer. There is slight problem. So, everything as usual. And next time, while I'm showing you all this, next week, we will add one more element, which is much less known. So I haven't seen in any book, but this is why these set of 7 short mantras are called as pranayam mantra. So that is done in the following manner. Today I have explained to you the Rechak, the deep breathe out, Pahikumbhak, holding the breath out, Purak, deep breathe in, then holding the breath within. Now, these mantras are going to be integrated next week. So, when we are in Bahya Kumbhak mode, when we are holding the breath out, we will recite mentally first 3 of them. Om Bhu, Om Bhuva, Oms. And when we are holding it within us, which is Abhi Kumbhak, then we will recite mentally the 7 of them. So this is the reason why these mantras are called as pranayam mantra. But nobody in today's world probably does it. Maybe there is an individual, I have no idea. But we will do it exactly correctly next week. But today I am just introducing, we are doing one step at a time. Okay, we are ready now to perform our evening sandhya. Here it begins now. Om ॐ शन्नो देवी अभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोऽभिस्यवन्तु नः ॐ वाक् वाक् ॐ प्राणः प्राणः ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ॐ नाभिः ॐ हृदयम् ॐ कण्ठः ॐ श्रेयः ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम् ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे ॐ भूः पुनातु श्रेयसि ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयो ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयो ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः श्रेयसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भू ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम्. Let's do the 3 cycles of deep breathing. Here it begins. Deep breathe out. Hold the breath out. Deep breathe in. Hold it within. Deep breathe out. Hold it out. Deep breathe in. Hold it within. The third cycle. Deep breathe out. Hold it out. Deep breathe in. Hold it within. ॐ हितं च सत्यं च विद्यात् तपसो अध्यजायत ततो अत्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवा दधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधत् विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्या चन्द्रमसो धाता यथा पूर्वम् कल्पय दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवी अभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोभिषवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिग्निधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्य ईशवः तेभ्यो नमो अधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रो धीपतिस्थिरश्चिराजीरक्षिता पितैषव तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमःभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिग्वरुणधिपतिः पदाकु रक्षितान् ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं भोजम्बे दद्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोम धीपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता अशनीश्वव तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः भ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कर्मा षड्ग्रीवो रक्षिता वियुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः भ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिग्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्रुत्यो रक्षिता वर्षमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः अस्तु योऽस्मद्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे तस्मात् उद्वयं तमसस्पयि स्वाहा पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्या सूयमगन्मज्योति उत्तमम् ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतव दिशे विश्वाय ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुरमित्यस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्याद्यावः पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्च पश्येम शरदशतम् जीवेम शरदशतम् अदीनश्याम शरदशतम् भूयश्च शरदः शतात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् Om Ishwaradhanidhe Bhavatkripaya Japopasanadikarmanam Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam Sadhya Siddhi Bhavenaham. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayo Bhavaya Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that concludes our third session on Vedic Sandhya, meaning and practice. We'll meet again next week for the session number 4. Have a good time.